Part 5. I kind of feel like I'm on a roll here in a minute. I've been wanting to make this video for a week or two now, and the right way to explain it hasn't like really come out, and I think it's kind of coming out pretty good today. At least the way I see things. This is just my opinion and what I've seen over the years with my body and doing my own plans, working with other nutritionists, learning from them and what they had me do, and then me doing my own things. And when I finally did the USA in '96 and won my weight class and won the overall and got my pro card, I did that diet all by myself. And that was 11 years. It took me 11 years to get my pro card. And I've seen things lately on the internet that, you know, it was a lot harder to get a pro card back then than it is today. You know, I heard that, I read something the other day that they give out a lot more pro cards per show than they used to. You know, it's like used to, they give out one woman and one man for, I think there's like, I don't know, 4 or 5 national level shows that you could turn pro from. So there weren't that many pros, you know, people turning pro every year. You know, and now, you know, I worked 11 years to get my pro card, and every year I wanted to take a year off, but I kept thinking, you know, maybe it's going to be my year. I better not take it off. I better keep pushing, because from 91 until 96, so 5 years on the national level, I placed top four every time, and was almost there, but didn't have quite the look that they wanted, for whatever reason. So it took me 11 years, you know, and it's like, I talk to people often that, you know, they've just started competing and done a couple shows, and they're like, you know, they're wondering when they're going to get their pro card. See, and that's back to, that's the way society is. We want it now. And it's like, you know, you have to put in your time. You have to put in your time, and you have to be patient, and you have to work for it. You know, it's like anything that's worth having, it takes work to get there. It takes time, and it's not going to happen overnight. And even though we want it overnight, it's not going to happen. So patience, we're back to patience again. Patience and training. Okay, and I know there was, I forget what question I asked. I think it was for form, technique Tuesday, which is actually tomorrow, huh? Maybe I'll go over, I think there were some arm exercises and deadlifts. I'll do something tomorrow. But anyway, that's another thing, arms, or any body part that you're trying to improve. It takes time. You know, it's like you train a couple months, you know, don't expect it to improve a lot. I mean, you're lucky if you're natural and you've been training a year, you know, it's going to be hard to put on a lot of lean mass in a year if you're natural. Now, if you're not natural, you know, you can see somebody put on 10 pounds of lean mass in a year, and it's like, you know, that's unrealistic though. If you're natural, that's unrealistic. It doesn't happen that fast, especially if you're a woman. It's harder for us to put on lean mass than it is for men. So that's another reason why it's important to get your protein in. Another reason to get your protein in is the older we get, our lean mass automatically decreases. So unless you're doing something to stop that, it's going to keep decreasing, and that's how you burn calories. The more lean mass you have, the easier it is to stay leaner, because that helps you to burn calories. So if you're getting older and your lean mass is dropping and you're not taking in enough protein, you're kind of you're defeating the purpose. So that lean mass is still going to drop, if you're working out, that's going to help stop it a little bit, but you really need to feed your body the fuel that it needs to keep that from happening. Plus, it's going to make your workouts more effective if you're actually feeding your body like you're supposed to keep that lean mass from dropping. So if you're taking in that protein, you stop that lean mass from dropping, and then you actually start to increase it. It's going to be, everything's going to start to work better. You're going to be able to stay leaner, easier, and you're going to feel better. You're going to be stronger for your workouts. It just makes everything better. So diet is the hardest part, but it's also the most important part too. And learning what you can take in and what you can't. And if you're not getting the changes, if any of you girls want to send me exactly what you're eating, I know Helene is probably eating different than like a month ago. So, and Tony, I'm not sure exactly how you're eating now, but you know, maybe there's something in your plans that you're doing that, you know, could be tweaked a little bit. If you want to send me that, I can take a look at that and maybe give you suggestions with that. But we're getting at the end again. I think this is part 5. I think I'm coming to an end for the nutrition part of it. You know, then there's always the training part too. So anyway, I think I'm going to call it on these videos here. I think that pretty much explains to us, or gives you a little bit of a look into maybe what does what, you know. And it's like I said, your carbs are your steering wheel. So if you've started out with a certain thing and your body's not changing, sometimes you have to tweak your carbs a little bit, or you can increase your cardio too if you don't want to cut anything out of your diet. And too, you have to be careful of cutting too many carbs out, because then your calories get too low. So sometimes when you cut the carbs out, you have to increase the protein just a little bit too to keep those calories up. Otherwise, you get to the point where you don't have enough calories in your body, and then your metabolism kind of slows down, and then you hit a plateau with that too. But anyway, this is getting long again too, so bye.